are waiting for televisions. In a minute, it will be ready. So, ladies and gentlemen, iyi günler. Good morning, everyone. And on behalf of EuroLeague Basketball, welcome to this magnificent venue and the 2017 Final Four tip-off event. It's a privilege to have the opportunity to launch here today a weekend's worth of festivities that will celebrate another great Turkish Airlines EuroLeague season. The 2017 Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four Istanbul marks the culmination of a new, revamped competition that has given fans a true European league for the first time in history. Now, after months of anticipation and this season full of thrilling competition, incredible plays and devotion in the stands, the moment that everyone has waited is here, the Final Four. Thousands of fans will be visiting Istanbul for this great event, and millions more will be watching from their homes on every single continent, putting both Istanbul and the EuroLeague at the epicenter of the sports world. It's a big honor to host the first of these events and get the ball rolling with you and the special guest we have with us today. Today we have the chance to hear from of our head coaches and their star players before their most important games of the season. But before we start the press conference, I'm delighted to invite onto the stage the President and the CEO of EuroLeague Basketball, Mr. Jordi Bertemu.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2017 Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four. We couldn't have asked for a better setting than this superb Sheraton Palace and this beautiful city of Istanbul for our first event in this Final Four. And to begin, I would like to thank to our main partner, Turkish Airlines, and its president, my friend, Mr. İlker Ayşe, for showing from day one their great determination to bring the Final Four here, and for the commitment, enthusiasm, and collaboration that they have given us every single day, every step of the way. And thanks also to the Turkish Basketball Federation and its president, Mr. İdo Turkoglu, and the municipality of Istanbul. Both have been extremely helpful in delivering a first-class event to our partners and to our fans. We return to a magical place. Magical because Istanbul is a city with a distinct aroma and a unique blend of cultures that always welcome the visitor with a smile. But it's also a city where one can breathe in great passion for basketball that's only comparable to the passion found in the biggest European basketball capitals. And this weekend is magical because it culminates a season in which basketball has been once more a sport pioneer, breaking barriers and creating, for the first time ever in professional sport, a true European league, our EuroLeague. And here in Istanbul, the first champion of that new era in European basketball will be crowned. In all honesty, this weekend is not merely the finishing touch of this first season in the new EuroLeague. It also culminates a 5-year trip that started back in 2011 with the vision of the clubs to make this European League a reality. Along the way, the clubs have shown determination and the commitment to work together on a common project to bring pro sport a new level. And I cannot fail to mention WME-IMG, our partner on this trip. IMG has allowed this project to become a reality and has shown itself to be the best partner that we could have imagined 5 years ago. And as always in this process, the fans have been the focus of all our discussions and all of our decisions. And we are proud and thankful for their response toward this new league, whose growth level are never seen before in terms both of quality and quantity. As an example, this Final Four will be watched on TV in 213 countries, so another Turkish Airlines EuroLeague record. But this change has gone hand in hand with a clear and well-defined global vision for the future of professional competitions in Europe. With a revised and reinforced 7 days Eurocup, whose place in this project must become bigger year after year. And we have enjoyed 6 months of excellent regular season in a round-robin format, and a great series of playoffs, preparing this Final Four. This is the format, and it's here to stay, regardless how many teams we will have in future expansion. And even if very soon we will start looking for the future, looking new challenge, asking ourselves what comes next, the format will stay. And before giving the floor to Mr. Aichi and Mr. Turkoglu, and of course the protagonists, our players, our coaches, I will also like to thank the partners and are constantly at our side. Our broadcasting partners, who work day by day to offer the fans the best on-screen experience in any device. Our marketing partners and sponsors, who kept trusting EuroLeague basketball to connect with the fans in many ways. Our media partners, who help us multiply the distribution and the impact of the competition in the most relevant manner for the fans. Thanks to our legends, our success belongs to you as well. Thanks for everything you did in the last 16 years. And of course, thanks to our players and coaches and our referees. All of them have made this 2016-17 season the best ever. I hope that you enjoy the games that the best 4 teams in the continent will offer us this weekend. And also everything else that will come around this Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four, like the EuroLeague Basketball Adidas Next Generation Tournament, the fan zone at the Marmara Forum, the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Awards ceremony that will take place here, and the International Symposium on Basketball Science. Many thanks to all of you for your continued support, and good luck to our teams. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Bertamo. So I would like to welcome to the stage Mr. Hidayet Türkoğlu, the President of Turkish Basketball Federation. Thank you.
Good morning. Dear valuable members of media and distinguished guests of Final Four of EuroLeague, I want to welcome you to the city of Istanbul on the home of basketball. Tomorrow, this year's most important weekend of European club basketball is starting. I'm extremely happy to welcome the most successful team of the Europe with their supporters to the Turkish Airlines Final Four. Turkey is a basketball country. Turkish basketball Super Leagues is accepted as one of the leading league of the EuroLeague. With its increasing popularity, basketball is continuously going up, and all the great organizations such as Final Four. Basketball has a strong private and government support in Turkey. With these encouraging assets, today we are delighted to see a Turkish brand, Turkish Airlines, as the naming sponsor of our lovely city, Istanbul, as the hosting city. I also would like to add, we are excited to have the EuroLeague Final Four for the third time in Istanbul and a Turkish team, Fenerbahce, as a part of this exclusive competition. With this opportunity, I would like to congratulate all the EuroLeague participants for their breathtaking competition that have performed throughout the year. I strongly wish that Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four organization would be a very successful tournament where thousands of spectators in the venue and millions of people in the front of their screens would watch the inspiring sports, competitiveness, and beauty of basketball. I would like to welcome once again the weekend filled with the excitement of basketball and the beauty of Istanbul. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. President. So, one of the main factors that make it possible for us to be here is the support and confidence that sponsors and partners show for basketball, and especially for this great competition. We would like to welcome to the stage Mr. İlker Aycı, Turkish Airlines Chairman of the Board and the Executive Committee. Please.
Distinguished CEO of the EuroLeague, Mr. Bartomeu and Madam Bartomeu, and my dear friend, Mr. Hidayet Türkoğlu, President of the Turkish Basketball Federation, and distinguished coaches, teams, players, and also press, my dear ladies and gentlemen, on this very special day, I would like to welcome you all to Istanbul, the crossroads of and the cradle of civilizations that bridges the East and the West, a true cosmopolitan metropolis with a vibrant city life and sceneries such as the Bosphorus, and that mesmerize even the most well-traveled visitors. I hope in the coming days you will be enjoying this global hub of art, sports, and culture. Dear guests, as Europe's best airline for the last 6 consecutive years, it is a great pleasure to have you in our city for the press conference of European basketball's signature event, Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four. It is the third time Istanbul is hosting this distinct event after 1992 and 2012. Following the last year's finals in Berlin, we were determined and enthusiastic to bring the finals to Istanbul once again. Despite intense competition, our hard work paid off, and once again, it's our pleasure to welcome you here. I would like to thank the EuroLeague officials, but in particular, my friend, Mr. Jordi Bartomeu, who shared our enthusiasm and is now greeting you together with us. I'd like to thank to him especially on behalf of my company, on behalf of our city. I hope, similar to the extreme competition in the 2012 Final Four, we will once again have an exciting tournament augmented by the 16 teams set up the league. Being a proud of title sponsor of the Europe's premier basketball competition, the global sponsor of the Euro Cup for 7 consecutive years now, as the Turkish Airlines family, we want this partnership stand strong. With a firm belief in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague's growing global reach, we extended our title partnership until 2020. So, concurrent with our trust, European basketball continues to grow and expand its horizons. European basketball continues to display a rising performance, within the arena attendance of 8,200 fans on average, signaling a 15% increase after the adoption of a 30-round robin regular season. I'd like to thank to his strong leadership to Mr. Bartomeu as well on behalf of us. Since the beginning of our sponsorship in 2010, we believed in the growing role of basketball among team sports. Thanks to the changes instigated by the EuroLeague, not only the live television audience did increase by 32%, but also the online audience by 166%. Furthermore, the fan engagement in social media increased significantly. Twitter interaction rose by almost 200%, Instagram by almost 400%, and Facebook by 471%. EuroLeague is followed by 180 million sport fans in Europe, which are the great numbers, and it shows the success of the EuroLeague management. The Turkish Airlines, as being the proud sponsor of the most prestigious basketball event in Europe, also continues its long-term and special partnership with ULEB, the Union of European Leagues of Basketball. This shows how important is basketball to our brand. Ladies and gentlemen, at the heart of the 3 old continents, namely Asia, Europe, and Africa, and as a touristic hotspot, Istanbul is only within a 3 hours flying distance to 37 countries and 78 important cities. Beyond this, as the Turkish Airlines family, we are proud to be flying to more countries than any other airline in the world. This sheer fact makes us more responsible in terms of our mission, sentiment, to bridge cultures and widen the world. We are also passionate about sports and sponsorships, given how much as human beings we come closer thanks to international sports events. As a flag carrier airline, as the best airlines of Europe in the last 6 years, we are not only sponsoring the Final Four, but we are also looking forward to it. With our global vision, we think that basketball is a sport presenting a global vision similar to other sporting events. As the Turkish Airlines, we are proud to support the European basketball as well as other sports. To this end, we are sponsoring various golf, tennis, football, rugby events all over the world. Our partnerships and sponsorships with the Turkish Airlines Open Golf Tournament and the European Professional Club Rugby are among these. As Bob Knight, the American legendary basketball coach, once said, we think that the key is not the will to win. Everybody has that. It is the will to prepare to win that is important. I'm sure that all the teams we are taking part in this exciting Final Four event are bringing with themselves the will to win, and they are prepared accordingly. Keeping up with this sentiment, we are also giving our full support, full effort, as to present a great experience for all fans in Istanbul. To this end, Sinan Erdem Arena of Istanbul went through significant upgrades in terms of its friendly environment, facilities, technology, and security. I hope, while enjoying this welcoming and convenient environment, you will have a chance to observe our will to being prepared at any moment. And I'd like to thank, during this preparation process, to the contributors to preparation of this great arena. I'd like to thank, first of all, our President, Mr. Recep Tayyip Erdogan, and I'd like to thank to our Minister of Sport, and I'd like to thank the Governor of Istanbul, and the Police Chief of Istanbul I'd like to thank, and Istanbul Greater Municipality I'd like to thank, and also our Basketball Federation, my dear friend also Hidayet Türkoğlu, I'd like to thank to him. During the preparation process, within the coordination with the EuroLeague management, our dear friend Mr. Bartomeu, and all of the partners got together to prepare this great organization. In this regard, we teamed up with the YouTube stars who are already shooting the landmarks of Istanbul, including Galata and the Maiden Towers, as well as in this regard, we teamed up with the YouTube stars who are already shooting the landmarks of Istanbul, including these great places as the Rumelian Castle and the Bosphorus Bridge. We have a double-decker bus touring the city right now, a fun zone at the Marmara Forum Mall, complete with live concerts, sessions with the legendary basketball players, contests, and shows. We wanted to turn the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four event into a festivity enjoyed by all fans. Last but not the least, a Turkish Airlines aircraft is carrying a EuroLeague livery and extending the spirit to the whole world. Once again, I hope you enjoy your time in Istanbul and share our will and sentiment that we, Europe's best airlines, had in preparing this great event for you and all the basketball fans all around the world. Thank you very much for partaking this splendid event, and I wish a successful experience for all the 4 teams representing their countries and the European basketball. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Aja. Thank you. Isn't getting hot in here? It must be Final Four fire. So let's start with the players and coaches. Now let's focus on this weekend's action at the Sinan Erdem Dome and hear from the players and coaches in our Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four opening press conference. Let me start by welcoming the representatives from each of our Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four teams. We have with us today Dimitri Tudis and Nando De Colo from CSKA Moscow, Ioannis Safaropoulos and Vasilis Panoulis from Olympiakos Pire, Jelko Obradovic and Bogdan Bogdanovic from Fenerbahce Istanbul, and Pablo Loso and Sergio Llull from Real Madrid. So gentlemen, I will be grateful you could make the stage, please. Here they are. So, CSKA, Moscow, and Olympiakos, Fenerbahce, and there is the Real Madrid place. Thank you. To begin today's Final Four press conference and to hear the views of our players and coaches, let me break the ice by asking the first questions. And I would like to start with CSKA Moscow and Dimitri Tudis. This season, for the first time, every Final Four team has played the other teams here 2 times each. How does that fact make this Final Four different?
Well, first of all, I would like to say good evening to everybody, good day. And I would like to say a few words about the new format. It was excited. It was for us actually a new direction and something new for us in terms of preparation, in terms of relaxing or having so many travels with the players and etc. But it was very excited and we enjoyed the Robin Brown system playing to everybody. That fact that we play each other helps for sure towards the scouting or towards the knowing each other a little bit better than in the previous years. Than when, for instance, last year we just faced Fenerbahce at the final. We had not played games before. But the Final Four is a different thing. It is a different story. After a marathon, you've been called to play a semi-final, which is actually a final. So there is no other day. So we're going to approach that game like that, and we're looking forward for it.
Thank you so much. So Nando De Colo, Nando, after more games than ever this season against every top opponent in Europe, are the teams at the best at this Final Four more battle-tested than ever before, right?
Hello, everybody. Yeah, I think like the coach said, it was a pretty long season and really tough. And all the team who make the Final Four deserve it more than ever. I think it will be the first time then you arrive to the Final Four and you already play against each other. For example, last year you don't know against who you're going to play, and maybe it's the first time. So this year is more exciting, and I think for us, for example, to already play against Olympiacos. It's interesting to see how we can change things to make it better.
Great, thank you so much. So, Yannis Safaropoulos, hi again, welcome. And the EuroLeague has had 6 different clubs become champion in last 7 season. So what does that say about the unpredictability of this season?
Good evening to everybody. First of all, we are very happy that we are here after a new format of EuroLeague. It was an exciting season, great playoffs, and I hope and I believe that I believe strongly that the Final Four will be even better for the fans, for the spectators, and for the teams. The fact that the last 7 years, 6 teams got the trophy shows that all the teams are very strong and they have their chances. From one side, from the other side, shows that to be first is very difficult. And I think that also for the fans it's very interesting to watch a spectacular Final Four without knowing which of these teams are the favorite and which of these teams will be the champion. The unpredict of the Final Four keeps all the interest in high level, and this is very important.
Great, thank you so much, dear coach. And we're going to Vasilis Panoulis' question is, Vasilis, everyone wants to know, if you remember, can the memories of your team's miracle win here in 2012 on the same court at the Sinan Erdem Dome help your team this weekend, right?
Good afternoon. For sure, it's great memories. We had here our EuroLeague trophy, and this helped a lot this team to grow up and to increase our mental part of our character. So this happened in past, for sure great memories, but now we have the present and we're looking forward to new challenges.
Great, thank you so much, Spanulis. And Coach Obradovic, the players and coaches here this weekend have competed in more than 100 Final Four combined. But your 16 Final Four and 8 titles are most. Do they give your team the edge in experience this weekend?
Good afternoon from my side to everybody. I don't think so. I believe that more important thing is that my players have experience for the last 2 years, especially last year that we have almost same roster, and I hope that this will help them to be ready in this Final Four this year.
Right, thank you. Bogdan Bogdanovic. Bogdan, your team was as close to the title as possible a year ago. Can the many Fenerbahce fans come into the Final Four this weekend make the difference for your team?
Good afternoon, everybody. And I would like to thanks to everybody who organized this. It's really an amazing event. Nothing to say. We need to forget everything what was in the past, and these next 2 games are, first of all, the semi-final are something special. And all the time, from my experience, when you're coming on Final Four, you can feel some different kind of energy, and that for sure make a different kind of pressure to the players. But we need to be focused on the things we work on during the season, and especially the last couple of weeks to do a great job.
Thank you, Bogdan. And dear Pablo Lasso, for the first time ever, this Final Four is the same another Final Four. Not only the same teams, but also the same same semi-finals matchups. Your team won the first one in 2015. What will it take this time to have the same results?
Well, good afternoon to everyone. I think, first of all, talks very good about the 4 teams. It means that that they have the ability and capacity to stay at top level, which is not easy. So give a lot of credit to all 4 teams to be able to come back here after 2 years. Every Final Four for me is different. It's going to be the same teams, same matchups, but different basketball games for sure.
Yeah, thank you. So, Sergio, you have made a lot of fans with your amazing buzzer beaters. If your team has the last possession on Sunday to win the title, are you going to take the shot?
Hello, everybody. Probably. If we arrive, it will be good for us to arrive at that point. But first of all, we have a really hard battle tomorrow night against Fenerbahce, so our mind is focused on that game.
Great, thank you so much. So we will now open the floor for your questions. So please raise your hand for the question and wait for microphone, please. And please introduce yourself. There is one question.
Hello, I'm Jan.
Sorry, again, please. It's working, I think.
Good afternoon. I'm Jan Onona from Newspaper L'Equipe. It's a question for Coach Obradovic. I wanted to ask you if you are aware of how important this would be for Istanbul, and talk to us about the special energy of playing a Final Four in Istanbul.
From the beginning of this season, I listened to questions like this. Everybody talk about this, that Final Four is Istanbul. It was like, you must be in this Final Four, you must do it that, you must do it another thing. Finally, we are over here. We are very happy that we have opportunity to be part of this event, to be with another three great teams. And I don't think so that something different is, let's say, thinking about how it was last year in Berlin. Over there, it was a lot of fans of Fenerbahce. I'm sure that this year will be, but this is just one part of the game. So players and myself, we must be ready to play a good game, and I believe that depends of us more than of fans.
Thank you. Another question? It's just a microphone. Yeah, it's coming. Sorry, wait.
My name is David Pick, and I have a question for Coach Itoudis.
Sorry, where from? Sorry, where from?
David Pick from One Israel, Eurobasket.
Thank you.
Question for Coach Itoudis. You're sitting on a panel with so many EuroLeague greats, and you probably are the youngest coach to have back-to-back-to-back Final Four appearances under your belt. What do you owe that credit to, that success? And if you can tell us a little bit about Milos Teodosic. We know he hasn't practiced, not for days, but for weeks. What is his situation going into Friday?
Well, I would say, first of all, this question gives me the opportunity of congratulating all four teams, of course, and the other three opponents that they haven't made the Final Four. I think they're well deserved that they play constantly good during the whole season. Of course, we had some ups and downs, all of us, due to the injuries or the new format. But I would like to say congratulations to that. Regarding our back-to-back showing the Final Fours, this is something that has to congratulate the organization. We're part of, and I'm happy personally to lead such a team and such an organization, being the last 6 Final Fours over here continuously, or the last 16 out of 17, which is a huge accomplishment for CSKA organization. So at the same time, this is an obligation that, and we do realize what is our obligation over here, what do we have to accomplish. But the whole journey is important as well. As I said, it was a marathon. It was a lot of expectations. We are the defending champion, and we are happy we do have the chance to be in that Final Four to try to defend the trophy, which is not going to be such an easy job. But we know, I just mentioned that the semifinal is a final. That's the system. With all the respect and the excitement that gives you that's how it is. We're looking forward for that. Regarding Milos, he did not play the playoff games in VTB, the 3 games we play against Astana. He did not practice after the game the last game, the elimination game against Baskonia. Had a big wish. He did play that series with injections. He came back to practices, not 100% though, but his desire, his wish, and his determination is in the highest level. So we'll see tomorrow how it goes.
Here is another question.
Good morning, everybody. Congratulations to all the teams, to all the coaches, and to all the players, and good luck to everybody. I'm Vasilis Kontis from Gazeta and Gold News Greece. I would like to ask Coach Feropoulos, you led Olympiacos to the Final Four for the second time in your personal career, for the sixth time in the last 9 years. Olympiacos has competed since 2009 in 6 different Final Four with 4 different coaches. Regardless the coaches, the players, the conditions, the budget, and etc. Could you describe the mindset and the philosophy that gives Olympiacos this kind of success? Thank you.
I think it's a combination of 2 things. First of all, the stability of the ownership. The 2 presidents that we have control the team, and they have really big love for the sport from one side. From the other side, they support in a very difficult economical crisis in Greece. You know that in Greece the crisis is really big, and our presidents do their best to keep the team in the high level. And this stability goes to the team. From the other side, I think that this team has players with character, personality, and through all these years they build good metal, and they know how to play tough and difficult games, and especially they know how to play when they are with their back to the wall.
There is the one. Thank you.
Hello to everybody. My name is Antonis Kalkavouras, representing Gazeta.gr. The question is to Vasilis Panoulis. I want to ask him, how do you feel, Vasili, when you hear that was said before, that Olympiacos, that 6 teams won in the last 7 Final Fours, and Olympiacos was the only one who won 2 finals, and you were the captain of this team. And secondly, how do you feel when you hear teams, players, or coaches saying that Olympiacos is the worst team to face in a semi-final knockout game?
First of all, I feel very, very proud for my team that made these achievements in the past. It's not an easy thing, everybody knows this, and need a lot of sacrifices to happen something like that. And, you know, we try, this is respect in life, in the sports, you cannot buy it. You have to work very hard to take this respect from the opponents, and this is one big achievement for this team.
Yes, please. There in the middle. Just raise your hand, please. Thank you.
Kemal Rutku Özcan, Trend Basket. My question is for Coach Itoudis and Coach Sferopoulos. In 2015, there was a semi-final game, and that 2 teams were up against each other, and Olympiacos won that game in Madrid. So do you think that that game creates a psychological advantage for both sides?
Great, thank you.
In what order do you want the answer? Who do you want to answer first? Me? 2015, it was a very exciting game. Olympiacos won it at the end, well deserved. We congratulate that. This is 2017. We do have some significant changes. You know, I understand the need and what, with all the respect, you want to create about the psychology, about the ghost or this and that. This is a basketball game. We play against a very good team, against a great team, a well-organized team with great players, and that's what it's all about. And we play a semifinal against a great team. They play two great teams they're going to face in the semifinal, and the two other great teams they will face in another semifinal. That's what it's all about. Of course, it's not only X and O's. It's not about that. It is also that. The psychology is about the way you prepared about. The players, they have their own routine. The players, they have their own, standards to approach game, to approach the moments. But it's not about the past. It's about living the present moment. That is all about, living the present moment.
I can say that, from my point of view, I can say that this game is completely different than 2015. We already forget that game because these are new conditions. CSKA now is European champion, and we are back to the Final Four after last year's absence. Psychologically, I don't believe that there is any different way to get prepared than all the other games for both the teams. The mental preparation is very important for from the players to play these type of games. And I think that all the teams here deserve to be here. They had stability all the season. They saw the same performances at the playoffs, so I believe that they deserve to be here, and the players knows this, and the only thing now is all the teams, which team will be ready, more ready than the other. For sure all the players want to win the trophy, and they will do all the teams their best. Psychologically, I don't believe that you need to do something different than to prepare one very important game like normal, like all the others.
So there at the back, yeah.
Good evening to everybody. I'm Yannis Lambiris from 24 Sport Radio and newspaper Tania. For Coach Obradovic and for Coach Sferopoulos is the question. Istanbul is a town of unexpected in sports, in big surprise. In football also with Liverpool 2005 and 92 with Partizan and 2012 Olympiacos. Do you expect the similar Final Four, the similar big surprise? And the second part of question, if it's useful for a team with new format of EuroLeague to have a private aircraft. Thank you very much.
To the first part of your question, I believe that surprises are not easy to happen, and all these unexpected games and unexpected ways of finishing games are not easy to watch. I believe all teams here has one characteristic, that they have a base of the players, that they play a lot of years together, and all the coaches are a lot of years with the teams. So that means that they have the same philosophy. The players know this philosophy of the coaches, and that gives stability, and with the stability is more difficult to find surprises. As a matter of the second part of your question, for sure we need to do something about the charter flights, and because with the new format, yes, the trips are more difficult, and the teams that they have charter flights to fly, I think they have a small advantage comparing the other teams.
what will be surprised in this Final Four? Everybody agreed that is Final Four, that everybody have same kind of possibility. We are very happy that we are part of the Final Four, that you have Real Madrid club with 9 titles in EuroLeague, CSKA with 7, and Olympiacos with 3. And we are third time just in Final Four. So this is not a reason to believe in ourselves, that we have possibility, but like always will be very, very, very tough and very difficult. From another side, talking about charter flight and everything, I suggest to my players today to really rest, because after so long trip yesterday night, they need to rest a lot. Like everybody say, that is new era of basketball, that we play now weekly, let's say 2 games. And I like this very much. I believe that in future we will play more and more. And this is benefit for the players, to play the games, not to have so many practices. And of course that one of the main thing will be to have private planes and to have possibility to go quickly game by game. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Coach.
Hello, congratulations to everybody. My name is Thanasis Asproulias. I'm coming from Greece, SDNA.gr and Cosmote TV. I have a question for Vasilis Panoulis and Nando De Colo. Vasili, we've experienced for many years, the last years, that when the going gets tough, Spanoulis gets going. What is this? Actually, to be honest, sometimes I feel that you are like a sleeping monster throughout the half of a season, and when the crucial part of the season comes, you wake up in order to win something. And what is the special instinct that you have and makes you wake up when the season is in the toughest period? And I would like to ask Nando if he has already think about it, thinking of Spanoulis, if he's a sleeping monster who wakes up in the crucial part of the season, and what is the way to face this monster?
Oh, like you want you first, man? Yeah, I think you're right. This is the difference between player and the best player like Spanoulis. I think he got now a lot of experience, and I'm sure he know how to be during all the season. He knows then is a long season, like we all know, and you know then his team needing to be a better team. Is why he's the leader of his team, and he know exactly how to play. So when it's the time to make a step up, I think he know that, and this is important for a team. It's why Olympiacos is so often on the Final Four, because he got the experience, and I think he showed to all his team how to do it. They have a great team, like the coach said during all the week. They have a lot of good players, and they know exactly how to play, and this starts with him. So, like you say, how to stop him is not just one-on-one, it's basketball, so we need to do it all together, and it will be a tough game.
I want to say that basketball is team sport. It's not about me or some other player. For sure, all the teams share their roles and to find their chemistry and share their responsibilities. You know, I want to say that team give me some responsibility, but all the team is working about this, and the most important for me is to everybody to help the team to achieve our goals. It's not something individual. We speak about team sport, and everybody's winning, everybody's losing.
Gökhan German from Fanatic newspaper. I want to ask Mr. Pablo Lasso, you are going to play with Fenerbahce tomorrow, and you lost 5 of the last 6 games against Fenerbahce. Does it mean anything to you, or do you feel any, do you think, is there any pressure on you because of that statistic?
Well, first, I didn't know the statistics. Probably you forgot 1 game in preseason that we played, so your statistic can be better. But I'm not that worried about that statistic. I'm worried about tomorrow's game. So I don't care if I lose 20 times against one team. If tomorrow I have to play a final against them, so I will be thinking about winning that game, not about what happened before.
There. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Fatih Shabovic from Turkish newspaper Hürriyet. My question is for Mr. Bogdanovic. In that stage of EuroLeague, your opponents have really too much experience and they won that championship many times in the past. Does it make a pressure over you?
I think all of them were in my position before they won it first time. So I'm working every single day on my fundamentals and put really hard work in the basketball. So I'm focused on to do my things good.
David Pick, I have a question for either Coach Obradovic or Bogdan Bogdanovic. In a recent interview with the EuroLeague, Epe Udo said that in preparation of the Panathinaikos game at the OAKA, Željko, you used loud noises in the background in practice to prepare your team for what they can expect over there. Was there anything random or out of the ordinary that you did to prepare for Real Madrid this time?
Secrets. I can talk about it.
Anything you can share?
Just to know, they took it from us. They took it from us, not we.
Bogdan?
I mean, nothing to hide. We know each other really well, so we play so many times. Nothing to hide.
Okay, another question, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Anton Solomon from Match TV Russia. And my question is to coaches Itoudis and Obradovic. You worked so many years together, won so many times together. And actually, Dimitris, it was an objective of all the teams to beat Coach Obradovic previously. But last year you beat your teacher. And how different does that feel? Do you feel that you are now the #1 head in the world, number one, I don't know, bounty in the world, in Europe, okay? And Coach Obradovic, do you feel any different about after last year's final? Thank you.
Right, I'll repeat that like for a million times, and that comes from my heart, and that comes from my profession. This is not a game of chess or tennis or whatever. We didn't play Željko against Dimitris or Dimitris against Željko. This is Fenerbahce against CSKA or CSKA against Fenerbahce. So great clubs with history, present, and of course future. So my team, and we were all happy that we became European champion against a great team and against a great coach and against great players, a great organization. And of course, knowing me, you should avoid that asking me about me feeling the first or something like you mentioned. You know, that goes like that. I mean, you know, I wiped out those things. We're basketball coaches. We try to help players to do their best on the court. And we're all happy at the end of the day when the outcome is good. But as I said, the journey shows us a little bit of more how we can handle confrontations, how we can handle difficult situations, how we can handle injuries, knock to the wood. So that's what it's all about. It's not a one-on-one game, and I don't feel this what you said. I feel a normal person being very happy and grateful working in such an organization, surrounded with great people and having passion for basketball, which we try to gather and grow in our city, Moscow, a great city, to attract some more fans to come, because the passion we have within the club will eventually give us some results in the future, and we're all positive for that.
Thank you. Mr. Obradovic, you going to say something? Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, please. Sorry, voices just didn't reach to everybody. Please.
It's good for you.
So you don't want to ask for that?
No, I say very careful.
Finally. Okay, any other questions? Yes, please. Wait for microphone, please. Excuse me? Can we get the microphone? Thank you.
Thanks. Hi guys, Moshe from Team Scout. My questions are for Coach Obradovic, first of all. I want to ask you about the journey that Fener has done under your helm for the last 3 years. We've seen progress throughout, from season to season, making it one step further at a time. How do you assess what that your team has been through in this amazing journey? And for Coach Lasso, I'm really interested to hear what you think about maybe the fact that all teams that have made it to this Final Four are a bit stronger than what they were 2 years ago.
Try again.
It's okay now, please.
It's okay now.
Pardon?
It's okay now, yes.
Yes,
okay.
yes, please.
So behind this, that we are third year in consecutive in Final Four, is great organization of my club. Everybody, we work in same way, starting with our president, with all members of the board, with my GM, Mr. Gherardini, staff that I have, all the people from office, and basically the players are more important. So if you have an organization like that, everything is more easy. We are in a good way, let's say, and it will be very important to keep that. Going back to previous question, what changed in my life from last year is that this year president show confidence that he have on me and my staff, and we have 3 more years contract over here in Fenerbahce. Not bad.
Thank you. Here, one question.
Buenos días, en castellano para Pablo Lasso y Sergio Llull. No sé si notáis ya una cierta adrenalina ya con la presentación y qué es lo que esperáis de cara a mañana.
Bueno, sabemos que es una Final Four, hemos tenido la suerte de disputar varias en los últimos años y bueno, tenemos esa experiencia pues para mantener la cabeza fría y centrarnos más allá de toda la rueda de prensa pues en el partido de mañana, en intentar prepararnos bien. Sabemos que va a ser una batalla muy dura,
but we are very well prepared. It's going to be a tough competition on the court, but we as a team, we want to win that game.
But no, please. Yes, please.
Muy bien, Sergio.
Sorry, it was Spanish, so that's why I couldn't understand.
No, muy bien,
sorry.
Sergio, muy bien.
Okay, last question, please.
Hi again, I'm Vasilis Kountis. I have one question for Vasilis Panoulis and one question for Zeljko Obradovic. The question to Vasilis is, after so many experience you got playing not only in the Final Four in big games, but in every kind of game, in every level, do you have any, you're not a coach, I don't know if you intend to become a coach when you will retire, but from your instinct, do you have any scenario into your mind how the game tomorrow is going to be played?
First of all, I enjoy to play basketball, and I prefer to play basketball. It's going to be a really tough game. You know, Jessica is one of the best teams and very well organized, with good chemistry and leaders on the court. And I think the most important is to control the game and the rhythm of the game, and to make our best to follow the game plan. You know, coaches make the game plan. If you don't make it, and if you don't put it in the game, you know, this is the most important for us, to be concentrated, to follow the plan.
Thank you. The question to Zeljko is, we are two among a few veterans in the history of the Final Four, so I ask you so many questions all of these years. Today, you have on the panel and in the front row some of the European, of the most legendary players. Do you regret because you didn't coach any of them? And who is naming?
Sorry, can you repeat? If I regret?
I ask you so many questions
Yeah,
during
I know,
the Final Four. But since we have here some of the most legendary players, you coach Bogdanovic, you coach Panoulis, you didn't coach Gyul, and we have some legendary players. Pick one, because you regret you didn't coach him in all the years. Bogdanovic.
Who to pick, bre, file? Ti Lester.
Thank you.
So, okay, on behalf of us, I want to thank you all, star players and coaches. Thank you so much, and may the best team reach the glory. Thank you.